In this rookie versus pro trading challenge, one of my own members has challenged me to a 10-day head-to-head trade-off to see who can make the most money. So will I remain the reigning champ or will I lose my crown? On day 10, this member has one of the best days of the year and the best day of his month, and he's got a secret up his sleeve that does give him a pretty big advantage. So, Timmy, are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
So day one of the challenge did not start very well for me. I had no trades. The problem for me was I looked at the gap scanner and the two leading gappers were both cheap stocks, but Timmy doesn't mind trading cheap stocks. In fact, he has an advantage that I don't have because of the broker he uses. So he went ahead and he traded some of these low price stocks and he got himself on the leaderboard day one, trading ICU. He doesn't trade pre-market. He's gonna talk about the reason in just a moment. There's a very specific reason why he won't trade pre-market. But as soon as the bell rings, he takes his first trade on the dip on ICU and catches that first wave up, and he locks up $1,475 of profit in less than 20 minutes of trading. Boom, he's on the leaderboard for day one. Now, what you don't know yet, but I'll share with you at the end of this episode is how many trades Timmy took on day one. His metrics from this challenge are fascinating. Even though he learned to trade from me, the strategy and the way he implements it is so different from how I trade today. So on day two, we both trade the same stock, MDIA. It's the leading gapper in the entire market, and it's the stock that I made the most on. I finished the day green. Timmy finished the day in the red. So Timmy, where did things go wrong on day two?
So day two, I was up $1,000, and that's what's so tough about day two for me. And I was about to walk away, and this is something that I know a lot of traders do, where you're like, oh, maybe I can just get a little bit more. Because what I had done is I took one trade, lost a little bit, and I was under 1,000 now. And as you can see from the MDIA chart, it kind of didn't have any more juice in it after that pre-market move. So in the market open, I should have taken what I could get and ran away, but instead I overstayed my welcome. And I go from green to red on it. Very unfortunate, very frustrating day. And then I started overtrading, so then I took a trade on ICU. I took some trades on WBUY, a choppier, spreadier stock, took some unnecessary losses. And that's kind of how you can turn a good day into a bad day pretty quickly by just not following your rules, right?
It's worse to go from up 1,000 to red than to just go red. Like I would rather just go down $500 to start the day, having never been green. But when you go green and you have something and then you give it back, it's that emotional hit going, you had something and now it's gone. So day two for you, not a great day, but only down $500. All right, so coming into day three, Timmy is in the lead, rookie versus the pro. He's doing well. And the problem with day three was we both went red. Day three for me, the note that I had was I shouldn't have even taken a single trade because the leading gappers were terrible. There was really nothing pre-market. And then once the bell rang, I just ended up getting chopped up on kind of not really good setups. And I just asked myself, why did I even bother trading? So I went red, down $500, and Timmy did the same, down about 500. Day four, Timmy is still in the lead and he comes out swinging with a really nice, I was impressed. This is a $1,900 green day, and I finished the day up only $250. This was another day where it was a penny stock that was on the scans. I wasn't in love with it, and I just couldn't get dialed in. And this actually, I think, highlights the difference between the two brokers that we're using, because Timmy's using Thinkorswim, which is a commission-free broker. I'm using a broker that charges commission. And when you're trading 10,000 share positions on a penny stock, those commissions add up fast when you pay the ECN fee. So Timmy, give me your comments on the $1,900 of profit on day four.
Yeah, day four was a stock right in my price range, opened up around $2. And we actually had some good volume, good range. This is one of the stocks that unfortunately had really tight halt bands, but I'm used to that. So I was trading around those halt bands, basically buying dips out of the halts, selling rips. And for me, only taking 3 to 5K positions, plus free commissions, I was able to really capitalize off of a nice move, up 300% or 400%, I think, at one point. So really nice for me in my price range. A lot of A quality setups, but those halt bands were tough.
All right, so day five, Timmy is in the lead, But today, day 5, we both trade the same stock. It's a pre-market leader. It's a really nice setup. And I think on this day, I overcompensated a little bit for coming up short on day 4. I hit it out of the park with a $5,000 green day, but Timmy does pretty well too. So Timmy, give me your P&L for day 5.
Day 5 for me, $1,700, and that is majority coming from INM, same stock we both traded. It was a lot bigger move pre-market. Out of the market open though, some decent opportunities. I was able to take advantage of that. And I actually was able to get $500 on something else that Ross didn't trade, another smaller price stock around $1.50. And I was able to kind of get a little bit of those gains back, kind of get closer to them.
All right, so on day 5, we're pretty much neck and neck. I made up some ground, but day 6, I don't like the gap scanner. And after a nice $5,000 green day, I'm kind of content to sit back and call it a no trade day. So just like day 1, day 6, my second no trade day of the challenge. But Timmy, he's in the weeds and he got some trades and he made over $1,000. So Timmy, your comments on day 6.
Yes, day 6 for me, it was definitely a tough day, but I was able to utilize free commissions again. I traded over 500,000 shares on stock BTAI and LIN, both the same price range. And I was just trading opening surges, trying to take advantage of extended dips. It's just stuff in my strategy where I feel more safe, a lot more less risk when I'm taking those dip trades. And I was able to get $500 on one stock and $750 on the other for a nice $1,200 day.
So this again highlights the difference between the two brokers we're using. So Timmy's using Thinkorswim, free commission broker, which is awesome. The way the free commission brokers work, they give you free commissions because they sell your order flow. And when they sell your order flow to the wholesaler, those orders do not necessarily go to the exchange. So the wholesaler will fill your order. It can be a little slower than direct access routing. In fact, it is a little slower. But the wholesaler can do something that the exchanges can't do. They can split pennies. That's right, they can split the penny. When you send an order to the exchange the way I do, if there's a 1 cent spread, you've got a 1 cent spread. There's nothing you can do. With 10,000 shares, it's $100 in the spread between the bid and the ask. With the wholesaler, they split that $100 4 ways. One way to the buyer, one way to the seller. They keep one way and the other way goes to the broker. All right, so now Timmy is getting not only free commissions, he's getting price improvement, a quarter penny or, more or less on every single trade he takes. And that on 500,000 shares adds up. So he's getting that price improvement. He's paying a sacrifice of a little bit of time. It takes a little longer to execute the trades, but he's getting price improvement and saving on commissions. If I routed that same 500,000 shares directly to the market, it would cost me $1,500. $1,500. That's just in the commission. So, it actually shows that on this particular day, if Timmy had taken the exact same trades with the broker that I'm using, well, that $1,000 of profit, he actually would have been in the red, right? And if I had taken maybe the same trade, it was a no trade day for me. So I guess it doesn't really make a difference. But part of the reason it was a no trade day was because I'm always factoring in that commission issue. Again, my argument here is that one of the things that we'll notice as we continue on with this challenge is that Timmy keeps his share size relatively small. Rather than taking a few big positions, he's taking a lot of small trades. That's a great strategy. There's nothing wrong with that. I've scaled up a little bit more, so I take a lot less trades, but I'm taking bigger trades. And for those bigger positions, being able to direct route my orders allows me to move in and out of the market with bigger size a little bit more carefully. So for me, I think that the execution speed plus the different routing options is an advantage that allows me to capture more profit, even in spite of the commission that I pay. So now we're coming into day 7. It's pre-market. A stock has breaking news. The news hits the wire. I see the stock hitting my scanner and I slam the order. I jump in. I know this setup. I know the stock type. I know the sector. And I know this is something that I got to size up on. So I take that bigger size. I have great executions. I'm in really fast and I lock up $10,000 of profit, my biggest day of the challenge. And this is a trade that I don't think I would have been able to match if I was using Thinkorswim. So Timmy, on this day, how did you do?
I was actually red about $200 on this day, and there was really nothing for me to trade. Like we were saying previously, I really only get that price improvement when the market opens. So for pre-market and for a lot of these really nice moves, you can get dollars per share on. My executions on that, it's tough. And I definitely can't take 10,000 shares. There's no way I can really do that. So for me and for my strategy with the broker that I'm at, it was one of those days where I just had to try to get a little bit of money in the range, but as I could see it wasn't going my way, I bail quickly before I make it a really big red day.
Right, and this is one of those days where I say, all right, I paid some commission on the $10,000 of profit I made, but I'd rather have $10,000 of profit and pay a little commission than have nothing at all, which is what Timmy ended up having on day 7. So coming into day 8, I've pulled away a little bit in the challenge. I have now taken the lead for the first time, and this is another day where we both trade the same stocks. We've got leading gappers, they're super obvious. I lock up a nice green day, about $2,900 of profit. This was a day that I got a little frustrated because I was up $5,000 and started giving some back, and I said, you know what? I'm at a point here where I have a rule of thumb. If I give back more than half my profit, I've got to walk away. And that's after I hit my daily goal of $5,000. So I hit $5,000. I gave back 2,000 of it. That was close enough. And I said, you know what? I got to keep what I've got left here and call it a day. But Timmy also finished the day in the green, $417 of profit, but he traded an astounding 500,000 shares of volume. He was churning a lot of shares. I mean, Timmy is becoming the algorithm. The number of trades is crazy, but you know, it was a green day. Now we're coming to the end of the challenge. Day 9, another no trade day for me. Third no trade day of the challenge. Timmy didn't have a single no trade day. He traded on day 9, locking up just about $1,300. And now let's look at day 10, the last day of the challenge and one of the best day of the month for Timmy, one of his best days of the entire year. This was on October 31st, Halloween, and he locks up $4,000 of profit. Timmy, how'd you do it?
Yeah, this day was absolutely insane. So $4,100 on 300,000 shares of volume, and SPRC was really just downtrending after the open, but I just knew in my eyes, I've seen it set up a lot. It was really opening at a spot where I thought there was good bounce potential. So I was able to get in all those dips, 2,000 to 3,000 shares, and really aggressively trade the range, right? And that's kind of where those free commissions come in again. Instead of just taking the dip at the bottom and waiting for a nice 30, 40 cent bounce, I'm kind of taking 5 cents, 10 cents, 3 cents, you know, and taking that price improvement as well. And in the first 45 minutes of the day, locked in that $4,100, and I called it a day, a nice Halloween for me, and a nice end to the challenge.
And I traded the same stock, SPRC, on that day. Again, same as day 8. I was up 5,000, but gave back a little bit of profit, finished the day at 3,400. A green day, and this marked the end of the challenge. All right, so the challenge is over, but we got to get into the analytics and the metrics of how we performed. Timmy finished the challenge with $11,500. Impressive, but he wasn't able to take my crown. I finished the challenge $22,700. Pretty good. Both of us, honestly, I was really impressed. Timmy did really well, far better than I expected for, well, a fairly new trader. He's still pretty new in his learning curve. But here's something really interesting. Timmy took 1,163 trades in 10 days. And I took just 56 trades. So I only took 56 trades. That's 5 trades a day for 10 days. Timmy's taken over 100 trades a day, trading 700,000 shares a day, which, as we already know, for my commissions at 0.003 per share, that would cost me like $1,700 a day in commission. But man, Timmy, you are the algo. I mean, you are buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling. We don't even need algorithms anymore because there's so many traders like you trading with free commission, just getting in, getting out, getting in, getting out, scalping the range. And the fact is, 5 cents on 3,000 shares, $150. You do that 10 times in one day, you've got $1,100, right? I mean, it adds up quick. So I'm impressed. I really am impressed. You did a phenomenal job in this challenge. How do you feel like the challenge went for you?
I feel like the challenge went really well. I kind of played to my strengths, taking a lot more trades than Ross and being able to trade every day. Because for me, I'm pretty much always finding opportunities just trading price action. It may not even be a setup. It may be more just price action on the level 2 for me. Like he's saying, it's almost like an algorithm. I'm trading, certain setups. It's like microsecond setups that, I've just gotten accustomed to by this strategy, and it definitely can't, get those big, huge winners. But for me, definitely keeping the lights on, and wouldn't want it any other way.
You're definitely keeping the lights on. You're doing really well. So your average winners are about $77. Your average losers were $56, and your accuracy is 48%. The one critique that I was thinking as I looked at those metrics is, how can we get that accuracy 10% higher, 55%? Can we get it up to 60%? Because I mean, not to say you're not doing well, but if you could get that accuracy a little higher, it is only going to help. I finished with 56 trades, average winners $800, average losers $400, accuracy 62%, which is a 2-to-1 profit loss ratio, 62% accuracy. For me, that's actually a little low. I've been averaging 68% on over 24,000 trades over the last 7 years. So my accuracy was a little lower during this 10-day challenge. I did have 3 no trade days, which I wasn't expecting. But what do you think you could do to get your accuracy bumped up just a little bit?
I think like we were talking, I think it was day 2 and day 3 where I ended up going from green to red, just over trading, overstaying my welcome is something we do a lot as traders. And, we all fall victim to it sometimes. So, I think you had a couple of days where you were at $5,000 and ended like 3,500. We all do it. I did it much more than I needed to, going completely from green to red on those days. And without those, really dumb trades, to be completely honest, I think my accuracy would be a lot higher. Plus, with my strategy, you can definitely overtrade a lot. It kind of comes with the territory by being as actively as I am trading. So you got to be very cautious to know when you're emotionally hijacked and when you're taking more trades than you should. And it's not a setup that you would normally trade. So it's a fine line for sure.
Now, how long have you been trading? So tell everyone, how long have you been trading?
Technically, I first started looking into trading in 2017. I joined Warrior, I think it was 2018 or 2019. So I've been in the trading game for a long time, got profitable in 2020. And really this year, I've really found my stride, blowing my past 2 years out of the water. Back when I first met Ross, I feel like I was like a little puppy. And now I'm getting into that, more of like a medium-sized dog, and I'm coming for him.
You are. And I cannot wait for you to become $1 million trader. I mean, this is the thing that I say is that there's sort of these phases of trading. You've got your beginner phase where you don't know what you're doing. Most beginner traders lose money. And then you have the phase of being a break-even trader. All right. Being break-even is a milestone. You might not think it, but it really is, because then you're not losing money. You're holding your own, you're treading water. And then from there, it's just that slow transition to losing a little bit less, to having those big red days spread out a little bit further. And you start pulling away. And as you start pulling away after, it could be a period of time of that slow ascension, you start building a track record. That creates confidence, and now you start scaling. And you right now are in the very beginning of starting to pull away. And that is exactly the roadmap as I laid out in How to Day Trade the Plain Truth. Number 1, it's getting you ready for day 1 sim. Then it's break-even sim. And then once you have consistency and confidence, it's scaling up. Those of you guys that haven't already gotten a copy of my book, make sure you grab it. It is a #1 new release over on Amazon, but you can find it at Barnes & Noble and pretty much anywhere. This is gonna get you ready for that first big milestone, which is day 1 sim. Day 1 sim, that's where it starts. Is there anything during this challenge that you wish you had done differently?
I would say those 2 red days that I had in the beginning, I wish I would have just stopped, right? We're in a market, like you were saying, it's a bear market. You got to take your gains and run, and overstaying your welcome is not something that you can do. Every loss, and really the mistakes, they amplify in a bear market. So you've got to be very, very cautious. And I fell victim to a couple really unfortunate, mistakes, but you live, you learn. We take that into the next trade.
And so tell us, what time of day are you primarily focusing on trading?
Nowadays, I'm primarily focused on just trading that first hour or 2. I'm out by around my time, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. at the latest, and I'm able to go my other businesses and do other things I need to do. And that's the beauty of trading. You can have multiple income streams. And, as traders, we are entrepreneurs. So it almost goes hand in hand. Businesses, you run multiple because trading is a business.
All right, so give it to me straight. You're a Warrior Pro graduate, trading my strategy. Did Warrior Pro work for you?
Absolutely. What Warrior offers in terms of the chat room, the scanners, the other members, and everything involved, it's a great community to learn how to trade and to really, get that learning curve to go parabolic like we always want as traders. Now, by saying that, just like any type of, trading course, you see a bunch of them out there. This one though, is definitely legit. I'll say that, but nobody's going to make money doing any course 100% of the time. That's just kind of how it works. You have to be, you got to take that information and mold it into your own strategy, because as traders, we all trade just a little bit differently. And really that's kind of the goal of being a trader, is to not just follow exactly one person, but to create your own strategy based off of all the other positive influences that you have around you. And Warrior is a great place to have a lot of those positive influences and have a lot of great information at your fingertips.
I think the job of traders in my position who have a lot of experience is, number one, to share the strategy that works for me. It works for me. It doesn't guarantee it's going to work for other people. But if you want to learn, it makes a whole lot more sense to learn from someone that actually is doing something that works. And then you take that, now you have the pieces and you're like, okay, maybe I'm going to make my own, sort of adjustments the way Timmy trades in a free commission broker and has scaled it up. And that's totally fine. But all those building blocks, they came from someone who did all the heavy lifting before. Now, Timmy also has a YouTube channel, and we'll put a link down in the description that you guys should check out, because he's starting to do the same thing that I was doing when I was getting started, which is, just putting some content out there, talking about recaps, what's working, what's not working. So, you guys should check it out if you're interested.
I appreciate that, Ross. I appreciate you having me here. It's been a beautiful 10 days, and hopefully we can do another challenge here, and maybe I'll beat you. We'll see.
If you like this challenge, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and let me know in the comments who you think I should battle in my next challenge.